Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope everyone is well and in the best of health. Assalamu alaikum to our webinar series. Welcome to everyone. Just now, I've just been sending the links to each on the chats for everyone that hasn't joined the respected groups yet. So if you have not done so and you have purchased a package, please do join the group and send your request to join. It's very, very important, especially now that we're getting close to the time. So please do that. We will now be getting underway with the logistics webinar with Brother Mohammed Zahid, inshallah, who's here with us today. Assalamu alaikum. Should we hear this? Unless you can't hear. Can you hear me? Hello? Assalamu alaikum.
Some, yeah, I can. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to set this camera up. Assalamu alaikum to everyone. Hope everyone's well. Congratulations to everyone who was managed to secure a package in yesterday and Sunday gone. So we're going to go through logistics of Hajj. Logistics of Hajj is probably as important as also the jurisprudence of Hajj. So it's very important that everyone pays attention and also join our webinars as well. Because it'll be extremely helpful once you're there, inshallah. It's Brother Asif here.
Um, yeah, he's here now.
As we're getting closer now to Hajj, we're not too technically nearly a month away to the actual day of Hajj. I believe the first group of ours will be departing on the 11th of May, and the last groups will start departing on the 20th and 21st of May. So, Brother Asif, I'll start, and then you can obviously kick in as well. So, you know, um, so basically today's purpose is number one, explain to you day by day what will take place. Are you from leaving home to arriving to Makkah and Madina, then the days of Hajj, and then we'll open up for question and answers. So observe if you want to go through the slides.
Yeah, he's checking the nieces here as well. He can, because, okay. Bismillah. Can you see on screen, yeah?
Yeah, we can, yeah. So the goal is simple. Every pilgrim knows where to be, what to carry, and who to follow, right? So obviously, the first thing is by now, I think the vast majority of us should have had our visas done. I think even those who probably even booked yesterday need to get the biometrics done, which is extremely important. If you're having issues with that, reach out to us so we can help you. You should have by now done your ACWI. If you haven't done them, then that's a requirement. It's a must. You need to have that done. And I believe if they're group flights, then they should be starting to trickle in from next week. If they're custom flights and you've still not received your custom flights, you need to speak to either Nusuk or Al Musafir. Am I right on that, Asif? Or
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, Nusuk or Al Musafir. And there's been a lot of cancellations and rescheduling. And we've been told that if you're not happy with the flight that they give you, so if they've cancelled your flight and rescheduled it, and you're not happy because a lot of people book Medina and then the rescheduled flight is ended up in Jeddah, you can take it up with them and ask them to reschedule that flight. And if they're not completely happy, then you could ask for a refund and try to book your own. But very, very unlikely unless the airline itself cancels the flight. So any issues, you can always reach out. Just direct message me, and I'll try to help you with the flights, both customs and group.
so now the most important thing once you arrive at the airport. If you're traveling on a group flight, then stay in coordination with your group leader. If you're on a custom flight and a group flight, just make sure you have certain things that you need to have, which are ACWY, the certificate with you, your visa copy, passport. Obviously, that's very extremely important. And then if you have your ihram, make sure you have that in hand luggage, and your slippers or your like you have the bag, the where you would put your passport, your money, and your additional things that you need to keep safe, that to be with you as well. So bizarre, yeah. Next slide, please. So before travel, documents, packing, vaccinations, airport check-in. So you have your check-in, your guide, and your ihram ready. So even if you're traveling with a group, so you can just basically once you arrive at the airport, just send him a message. I'm at the airport. If you arrive earlier than him or later than him, either way, you can just check in. Make sure your guide knows. Normally, we tend to, have the group gather towards the gates as you board the plane, because it's a lot easier instead of, because some people tend to arrive late, so he's probably waiting for him to arrive. So if you've gone through, check in as normal, get to the boarding gate, and more than likely you meet him there. For some reason, if you don't meet him there, just send him a screenshot or a picture of your seat number. Like let's say you're on 32A, and then during the flight he can meet you, so at least he can get familiar to who you are. Make sure he's got all his count there, people ready, so when you do land at Jeddah or Medina, it's a lot easier for him to get the group together. So technically, your guide is the mir of your kafla. So basically, he's the mir of your group, which means that he is the person that should be always be told what your movements are. So like let's say for example you decide to do something or you decide to go from one place to another on yourself, just takes a quick message, quick text message, WhatsApp. Even out in Saudi, more than likely everybody's going to have Wi-Fi, so that's something that you just stay in touch with him. Generally now, once you arrive at Jeddah or Medina airport, the Medina or Jeddah airport are a lot quicker immigration compared to pre-corona, where it would take 12 hours, probably sometimes a lot more, sometimes slightly less. Now it's normally a couple of hours and you're actually out of immigration and you get your luggage. And then even if you, for example, are not with him or you can't see him, just get to a point where even he'll probably tell you a meeting point when you come out of Jeddah airport. For example, you got the subway there, you got the Al Baik there, you got the mobile phone shops there. Then it's his job that once you guys get out of immigration, once you have your luggage, he will then arrange that transport for you to get to either Makkah or get to either Medina. If you're traveling on your own, so if it's a custom flight, so you're not traveling with a group leader or a guide, then all you have to do is follow the same steps and just look for MCDC staff. All you have to do is look for MCDC staff at Jeddah Airport or Medina Airport. Once you're in touch with them, they then will organize your transport to get to either Makkah or Medina. Uh, Another question is SIM cards. You can always purchase SIM cards at the airport as well, or you can do that in Makkah or Medina, either way. If you're with a group, then your check-in is going to be with the group leader. He'll have a room list, and he will then be in touch with MCDC guides at the airport. There'll always be MCDC's guides, staff, sorry, at every point, right? So they'll be at the airports, they'll be at the hotels, they'll have a list of names. If you're coming on custom flights and it's different timings that you're landing, they will have obviously the room numbers and where you'll be staying or who you'll be sharing that room with. So before travel, airport, then once you're in Makkah, then we'll go through the days of Hajj, and then obviously the completion. Next slide, episode. So I think we've more or less been through this. Passport, essential. ACWY certificate, essential. Hajj visa, if you can carry a digital and a printed copy, that'll be good as well. Safe guide and family numbers as an emergency contact. Anything, Asif, on that?
We always say with the visa and the passport is the two most important thing that you need to carry with you at all times because of the Nusuk card. Last few years, the clip is very flimsy. So a lot of people lose the Nusuk card, the physical copy of it. There's no need to panic. They start panicking. Oh, I've not got my card. I've not got my card. I have to go back to the hotel. I've lost my card. It doesn't matter. As long as you got your copy of your visa, a copy of your passport, and then you look at the plastic wallets that you get that you put the A4 sheets in. I've not got any here. Otherwise, I'll show you. It's like keep it in there. So visa on one side, on the back of it, you put your photocopy of your passport. You can fold it up. I've actually found mine from last year, and I pulled it out from my money belt, and it's still there in perfect condition. You could see the QR code at the bottom. So we always recommend 3 copies of the passport, 3 copies of the visa. You put one in your hand luggage, you put one in your main luggage, and you carry one with you at all times in your money belt or somewhere safe. Because if for any reason you lose that Nusuk card, you've got that there because there are a lot of checkpoints and random checkpoints at airports and even in the Haram. And you might not have the Nusuk card with you, you just run out the hotel, you could just show that. The thing with the digital copy, your phone battery might die. So if your phone battery dies and you don't have a physical copy, they could be funny and take you to the side and question you, and then they'll fingerprint you at the end, and then they'll still let you go. But it's just less hassle if you just carry them 3 documents, one in the main luggage, one in your hand luggage, and one with you at all times. And that's what we recommend: 3 copies of each, and that at least that covers you. Another thing is MCDC staff are at every entry point into the country. So, like you said before, if you're with a group, the guide's going to guide you. If you land by yourself, because this year there's a lot of custom flights. Last year there weren't that many custom flights, but this year we
Had
see.
any custom flights last year?
Yeah, exactly. But this year there's a lot of them. So a lot of custom flights. A majority of you might find yourself, but there's no need to panic. You've got us on WhatsApp. Yeah, I tell everyone, why are you worried for? You've got me on WhatsApp. You tell me when you land. I'll tell you where to go. I will take the pictures because hopefully our guys will get there before you lot. We'll take pictures where MCDC stuff is, where to meet, meeting points. All this you'll get in your WhatsApp, individual WhatsApp groups as well. And if you don't get any response in the individual WhatsApp groups for whatever reason, you can always message any one of us. Zahid Bhai doesn't sleep. Honestly, he
Well,
doesn't.
everyone, our numbers are there. The other thing was luggage as well. So something very, very useful, which I didn't mention
AirTag.
in my last, is the air tags.
AirTags, yeah. Samsung or
Right.
the
So if
thingy.
luggage ever gets missing, because in Hajj, luggage tends to get missing. Not everybody's, but there's always a few Hajjis. Unfortunately, it can be sometimes more than a few. That luggage gets goes on walkies, and then we gotta locate it all over Makkah and things like this. So air tags are extremely good because you can basically track your luggage where it is. So yeah. So
Once
Bazar,
and once your luggage has reached the hotel, and then in the 5 days of Mina, you could take that tag out and put it in your backpack. So at least you could track, your backpack. And if your backpack's with you everywhere, they could, other family members, if you have elderly people, at least they've got that tag that you use for the luggage while you were traveling together. You could put it in their money belt.
good one for the guide as well. Start putting one in his pocket as well, so we all know where the guide is, right? So essentials, which we've kind of been through. So ihram. Now ihram, obviously when you initially, if you're traveling from, let's say, from the UK, you're landing in Jeddah, you're going to Makkah, you will need your ihram because you're going to perform umrah before you arrive into Makkah, which means you're going to get into ihram before the miqat, which is going to be obviously before your flight lands in Jeddah at the time, right? So hand luggage, like we mentioned, ihram, flip flops, sandals, money belt, ID pouch. If I don't think you'll have ID pouches from here, that'll be once you arrive in Makkah or Medina for Hajj, and a small day bag type thing. everyone has different health issues, so it's very, very extremely important that you get your regular medication. Hydration salt is good, basic pain relief, blisters, plasters you'll need because people tend to get blisters during the days of Hajj, right? So then obviously things to keep with you as well: power bank, charging cable, UK/Saudi adapter, because we don't know, most of the hotels now do have a UK version of the adapters everywhere. It's a possibility that it may be a hotel like Buraq Al Masi, because I've not really seen the rooms there, or Johra Al Hashmiya, for example, in Azizia, that they may use Saudi adapters. We're not sure. We'll try to find out beforehand, but just in case, just have the 2 pins that go in instead of 3 pins. It's probably a good thing to have. And try to always have your phone fully charged and a power bank. I'm sure Asabai has quite a few power banks on that day. Yeah, there you go. So airport instructions, which I've covered already. Be at the airport at least 3 hours before departure. Check in, proceed as normal, remain reachable, basically. Contact your guide, message your guide once you've arrived. Stay close, keep the group updated on your location. And for example, let's say you don't get to meet your guide before you've been boarding, because 100 things can happen, right? Because there's going to be, every group's going to have a certain amount of people. Some will have 50, some will have 100. There might be 150 on certain groups. There might be less. So, at the end of the day, the guide's human. He can have some sort of an issue. So just before you board the plane, if you've not got to say hello, give him salam or anything, just take a picture of your boarding pass, your seat number, so at least he'll have that. Or normally, what I tend to do is I send my boarding pass, my seat number. So then during the flight, people, if I didn't manage to meet anyone, they can actually meet me during the flight as well. So yeah, so that's airport instructions done. So we've done the hand luggage, keep ihram accessible, keep flip-flops accessible, do not place essentials in checked baggage. So do not keep things like your ihram or your flip-flops or the essentials that are part of the ihram to perform umrah in your checked-in baggage. This is a common mistake that happens, that where people don't have these items, and then there is panic mode. So, for example, if you have a short connection, so if your stopover is either in any other country before arriving into Jeddah, if your stopover is less than a couple of hours, then men may wear low ihram, which I think all have Imam Bilal Asif, Sheikh Dr. Umar, Sheikh Ustad Hamza, Mona Khalid have always told people that, you can wear the bottom half, keep a thobe or something on top, have your flip-flops on from the airport, do your nawafil from before, and once you get to the miqat, then all you got to do is basically take your top half off, put the top garment on, and do your talbiyah, make dua and make intention of umrah, and that is then you're pretty good to go. So you won't be in that scenario that maybe if I've got 50 minutes, it's possible your flight from the UK could get delayed, or any other country that you're departing from. So your connecting flight, there's not much time. It's possible that your connecting flight has a 50-minute and hour gap, but at least you got peace of mind. It's extremely important. We're going to emphasize this more as we continue. That part of Hajj, this is something that you've probably already started hearing, and obviously with the Nusuk system, the way the Nusuk system works, it's not the best system in the world. It's something that we have to work with. We have no other choice. There is a lot of extreme frustration, which I understand. Even yesterday, I think more or less 6 or 7 minutes, that system was liveful, and it just went. And there was a lot of brothers and sisters that didn't manage to book Hajj. Even yesterday, we're hoping, inshallah, there'll be another round for them. But it's extremely frustrating because some people have been registered since October. They've had their verification done. They've had their money done. Some people have been there since the last 2 years, you know. And it is nasib, it is maktub, it is the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But obviously, as humans, we do get disheartened, we do get frustrated at times. But, the test of Hajj where pre-corona, when we used to take groups, the test of Hajj for Hajjis was booking was never really a test. It was we gave our passport, we gave our money, the agent's done everything. We used to do it from year in, year out. And then the test used to start from the airport, when we used to sit there, because we used to always land at the Hajj terminal, right? So 8 hours, 12 hours at a terminal, waiting for buses, getting onto a bus. It was like, boy, we're here for such a long time. By the time we got to our hotel, from the start of the journey, leaving home from the UK to get to Makkah hotel used to sometimes be 36, 32, 34. And we used to always think, oh, last year was 36. Well, this group got there in 24. How did you get that there that quick, right? But that's now your test has actually started from the point of booking, that suburb. And that's something that I think more or less we've mentioned in all our webinars, and you're going to keep hearing this, and you're going to keep hearing this from the likes of myself, from Asa, from Abuzar, from everyone, people around you, normal Hajis, they're all going to be saying Haji Sabr, Haji Sabr. And you're going to think to yourself, why do they keep saying this? Why do they keep saying this? Why? And then it's constant test, so you got to keep something in mind that this Hajj that you're performing, yes, you're performing for yourself, but then you've got another 48 people to think about as well. So timing, if you're given a time, please be there on time, right? So it's extremely important because, the transport might not arrive at that time, but if you're late and the transport does get late, you're actually holding another 48, 50 people up as well. Yeah. So group, you have to always constantly be thinking about the people around you. You can't be selfish. Um, it's you gotta listen to the guides. Sometimes even the guides can get things wrong, accidentally he's like, a bit confused or a bit unwell. Yeah, just like we can get unwell, the guide can get unwell. So it's a bit of a team type of thing where everyone chips in, everyone helps one another, and then inshallah you'll as a group take the benefits of being with the group once you're out in Makkah. Can we get on to the next slide, Abuzar, please? So again, arrival in Makkah, MCD staff will manage group check-in and room allocation. Your guide will be there. Your guide will have certain knowledge of how the rooms will be distributed, but this can be changed because this is something that will be more in control of the MCDC than physically the guide that you're traveling with. So he'll have a rough idea, or he'll have a request that he sent across that this is how we want our room distribution. 9 out of 10, it stays according to that, but there can always be slight changes or in the way he's been given the room. So you just got to adapt to that. It might be in a scenario where if you're a family of four, they should rightly give them room. If you purchased a double, they should give you that room. If you purchased a triple, they gave you that room. But there may be a scenario where once you're on a journey, there's a certain person you want to share with and not a certain person. These things sometimes can make things difficult. So normally what we do is we say, all right, let's just give the rooms out, and then the Hajis amongst yourselves, you can then say, okay, brother, can you come out of this room and can I go into that room, or sister, can I do this, and the other sister, and you can do things amongst yourselves as well. Proceed with the group to the hotel, wait for your allocated rooms, rest and remain reachable for updates. So vast majority of hotels all have Wi-Fi. You'll probably have Saudi SIMs by then, so communication is a lot better than the previous years. So if you're traveling, i.e. with the group, so i.e. if you're traveling, for example, if you're traveling with myself or Brother Asif, the vast majority, there are probably many of us in that are traveling on that day with the group to perform Umrah and then to do Hajj. You've probably done Umrah before, so you don't really want to tag along, or you want to do it within your own time, or you're with your wife or your sister, or your family, immediate family, and you're okay. If that's the case, you guys continue to do that. There will be some brothers and sisters that have not really, probably not even done Umrah before. So if you need that help, that guidance, then you can do that with your guide. Now, there will be people who are coming on custom flights. Now, let's say, for example, Asif gets to his hotel with his group at, for example, Asr in Makkah, right? Now, he's probably gave timing to his group. Okay, let's get some rest. Let's wait till Maghrib, get freshen up, probably eat something, get ready, and decides to leave at Maghrib time. Now, he's going to perform Umrah. Umrah can take anything from 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. depending on which day or which, the closer you get to Hajj, the busier the Haram becomes, right? The earlier you get there, obviously it's not as busy, so it varies. Now, let's say Asabai's finished his Umrah, midnight's come, he's prayed Isha in the Haram, inshallah, as well. He sat there, brought all the brothers and sisters that went out with him to do Umrah, got him back to the hotel, and then now somebody's arrived at custom flight, and they've arrived at just about half an hour after just about Asif's just decided to put his head down on a bed because he's human as well. He needs to sleep. And that brother and sisters are now messaging, where's our guide? Where's our guide? Where's our guide? You gotta think that the guide is not going to get up because he's now traveled maybe 24 hours from the time he's left his house. Is that correct, Asif? By the time you've now done your Umrah, finished, it might even be more than that, right?
Yeah.
So he's now snoring away. Is not, is not going to reply. Now, there will be, for example, let's say if that was Asif's particular group, there is Abu Zar, there will be other brothers that will be available on phone in sense that, if there's something what you don't know what's happening or you don't need to, or you're a bit confused about. But physically, for him then to take someone for Umrah, that won't be happening. So it's good to study. It's good to basically, we've got, I think, about 3 or 4 webinars, and I'm actually shocked, right? Because technically I should have about 700-800 people joining my webinars, and it ends up being about 300-400. So that's 50% of people who are not actually even making that effort to join us. Yeah, it might sound a bit boring at times, right? But there's certain things I might say that might benefit everyone. So even the fiqh masla, you've done such hard work to get to this point where there's others, brothers and sisters, who have not managed to book yesterday. And trust me, if you said to them tomorrow or right now, shall we swap places? Just you got to make sure you learn about your Hajj. I'm sure they'll do it, right? So Allah's gave you that Tawfiq, He's chosen you basically out of billions of Muslims in the world. You will be the chosen people to be on the day of Arafat, in Arafat. So the last thing you don't want to do is not even know how to perform Umrah, not even know about the rights of Hajj. What are your fard? What are your wajibat? Okay, now if something happens during a journey, what should I do in that scenario? So these are things that it's extremely important to join, extremely important to know how to perform Umrah, how to do Hajj, go through everything. We're here to help, but it might be a scenario where you need to do Umrah yourself. You go do Umrah yourself, right? After Umrah, basically, if you're in Makkah and once you've done an Umrah, you're more or less free. You don't really, there's nothing for you to really to do. We try to have seminars physically there if we can get a space, and that's something we'll try this year as well. But generally, up to the 7th of Zulhijjah, which is 24th of May, there's nothing really for you to do apart from do your prayers, do your ibadah, do your nafli tawafs if you want. We tend to tell people that, look, if you've got, let's say, a 3-4 day gap between the days of Hajj and the day you arrive there, I tend to tell people, especially for those who are probably staying a bit further away as well from Azizia and so forth, that try not to, there's people out there, we've seen brothers do 2 Umrahs a day. They go in the morning, it's like, yo, yeah, man, I've just done another Umrah, brother. Say, mashallah. And then you see him in the evening again, and you're like, wait, where you going? And he goes, I'm going to do another Umrah. And then a day before Hajj, he's twisted his ankle, or he's like in a wheelchair, and his other brothers pushing him, or one of his family members, and he's got his legs like right up, and you think, kid, and he goes, and it's like, we tell you, brother, just go with the ease because your main purpose is Hajj. Once your Hajj done, halas, you can perform 10 Umrahs a day, it's not about that. But if you're going to struggle during the days of Hajj, or you're going to become like basically a burden on somebody else, right, which technically you will be, then it's better to do your one Umrah entering. If you got, like, let's say 10 days and you're not really doing much, then that's a different thing. But if you're coming like 2-3 days before Hajj or 4 days before Hajj, and all of a sudden you're knocking out 3-4 Umrahs a day, and then come day of Hajj, you're not physically there. So try to refrain from that. And then after Hajj, you can do as many as you like. Ask logistic questions, ask us any questions you like. We're here. I see a lot in the group chats, other group chats, is that there's repetitive questions that are asked constantly that we go through all the time, and then it's fine. I don't have a problem. Wallah, I don't actually have a problem, right? But it's like sometimes on a group chat, if a group chat's open, that question's been answered. Like now we're going to answer them. But then we get the same thing like a day before Hajj, and you think to yourself, brother, that we've done 4 or 5 webinars, literally every week now to leading up to Hajj. We've replied back to more or less every single person who's messaged us, and now you're still asking the basic questions. So it's very, very important that you learn. You can ask, of course, you can ask. You can ask as many questions as you like, but it's just for yourself to go through. So this is the time to make notes, pin everything down, get a little book together, logistics, fiqh, if this happened, that happened. And there's more information that we're going to give you as we get closer to the time, because we don't want to like fill everything up all together, because you'll be slightly confused about tent numbers, camp numbers. If you were to get lost in Mina, then what would happen? This is something I'm going to go through probably a bit more close to time. Abzar, if we can go on the next slide, please. So 7th of Zulhijjah is like the preparation, the buzz of Makkah. There's an extreme buzz in Makkah on this day, right? Makkah is like, subhanAllah, Makkah is Makkah anyway. But the 7th of Zulhijjah has this like really where all the Hajjis are getting ready, everything you've done to get to this point. Some of you have already been to Medina, some of you have come directly from Jeddah. Now it's like that mental psychology, that you're psyching you up now with, it's about to happen, all this effort, all this time, all this money we spent, all this preparation that we've done, are we really getting there? So that's the day of 7th of Zulhijjah. So 7th of Zulhijjah is the day where you do ghusl, you wear your best perfume, whatever financially you can afford, just wear anything that you like. You wear that, you clip your nails, cut your nails, put a bit of oil on, put loads of deodorant on, shampoo, good strong shower, and you then come into your ihram for the days of Hajj. We say to everyone, after Salatul Isha, after the prayers of Isha, be ready. So be ready in the sense that either stay in your room, take it, stay in room, get rest like you normally would do, or be within the vicinity of the hotel. So if you're around the vicinity of the hotel, you can be sticking around in the lobby, you can be outside, you can be having a chit chat, but be nearby, because we don't exactly know at what time that bus will arrive. So, like I said at the start of this webinar, is that we need to be ready. So if we're given a time, we need to be ready at that time, right? What we don't want to do is, because of us, we're holding other people back. So if that means, if we say to you, do this around Isha, it doesn't mean the buses are going to come at Isha, but the buses start trickling in, don't they, Asif, right? So normally, I don't know, last year about 10, 11 o'clock, our first bus was there.
Because between Maghrib and Isha, the roads are closed anyway. And then the
Yes.
buses, they open up, they start parking up on the bridges and everything. You can see them, but they won't be allowed in. So, but we have to be ready by Isha, because what happened last year as well, we told our group, be ready, everyone get ready, make sure you're here at this time. And then the bus came and our group was still scattered. Because they thought, oh yeah, you say Isha, but an hour's gone, nothing's happened. They scattered, they disappeared. Then all that happens is, someone else with the same number of bus, another group, who was ready, they take your bus. Then we go again at the back of the list, back of the queue. So that's why it's very, very important to listen to your guide's instructions. If you listen to the instructions, then everything goes smooth. But if you think that, oh no, I'm just going to do my own, and the bus disappears, then you will be, having to rely on a guide to come back from Makkah to help and assist to bring you back, or you'll have to go in a different bus, or you just in panic jump in a different bus and end up somewhere else. Guide instructions are very, very, very important. Listen to them and notify your group if you plan on doing something different, so they're not waiting on you. Some people might want to walk and they'll say, okay, we're gonna go to sleep, we're gonna walk, the next day. let your guide know. So then the rest of the group are not waiting for you.
Last year I was knocking doors in Makkah Towers, man.
Yeah, we were. We
Brother and
were.
sister, they're sleeping. And they're like, I said, brother, we're not ready yet. You know, what's going on? And I'm like, the brother's there. It's, oh, okay, we'll be down in half an hour. I said, you ain't got half an hour. You got 10 minutes, right? But the point is that we have that. And not just that, then obviously, alhamdulillah, it's our responsibility as well as guides. And it's not just that we're doing it for any reason. We're doing it for doing the service or giving the, khidmat of the Hujjaj that may Allah accept our Hajj because of that as well. So, but at the same time, we do have people that are still left behind. We always keep guides left behind because we have this scenario, but we don't really want people to be in this scenario, right? That's the whole point. So just be near. Normally, there's going to be if you're husband wife and you have your own room, or there's a triple family room or quad room. Always just have one person. Make sure his phone's on loudspeaker. On loud, not on silent, and just be ready, because what can happen is that we do say Isha, but the last bus, for example, last year came at around 10 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning. So on the 8th of Zilhijjah. So technically, if we look at this year, it would be we're telling you to get ready at 24th of May at 9 o'clock. But then the bus really came at 25th of May at 9 a.m. And the year before that, the buses came even late. So it wasn't even 20 on the 8th of Zulhijjah, they came after Dor, some buses did. Some after that as well, because of the traffic, because of the way the Makkah is, and the transport. Imagine how many buses are there. So it's our job to be ready. You can't constantly, this is another thing that tends to happen, is that for example, your guide, again, he's there, but he'll get nagged every 5 minutes or every 3 minutes. Brother, where's the bus? And then somebody else comes in, brother, where's the bus? And brother, where's the bus? And he's already put it up on his WhatsApp group. Exactly what I'm gonna do when I know, brother, the bus ain't come yet, brother. So it's like he'll let you know when it's there, so you don't need to come every 5 minutes. Somebody's ringing, because imagine 100 people ringing my phone at a similar time. How many people's phone am I going to realistically answer, right? So instructions will be given. We need to follow the instructions, and inshallah, everything will be right. Use rooms safe for valuables. Keep ID and emergency contact with you. Like things like passports, you can leave that in your room, but you'll have the Nusuk ID for Hajj, which you need with you. Visa copy is a good thing to keep in the days of Hajj, and a copy of your passport just in case, right? And always try to stay with your group. If you're in a scenario where something goes and you're not with the group, because we have, alhamdulillah, multiple guides from the UK, that we have brothers and sisters traveling with us from everywhere, but we'll always be there. So if you will see our groups, you'll have like 7 8 admins in there. So we're always on the ground, and somebody will be helping you, inshallah. So nothing to worry about in that sense. Abu Zar, if we continue on to the next slide.
Just make sure on the 7th of Zilhajj, usually that's when you'll get your wristbands for entry into the various camps. If you're in Majal Al-Qabs, you'll have a different wristband to
Yes,
Wakefield,
thank you.
to 72B. So very, very important to collect that. Even if you're thinking about walking the next day, you don't fall asleep on the 7th of Zilhajj, because the guides might have gone with your wristband. You have to collect it. The guides will tell you, please come downstairs at this time, come and collect your wristbands. Very important to keep that wristband. If you lose it, no problem. There's ways and means, but try to keep it safe with you at all times.
So this year we do have 72B as well, which
Hello.
technically we don't know how the guides. So a lot of guides haven't been. Well, alhamdulillah, the groups that we've put up, we've kind of know which guides are going to be on there, but we're not 100% still sure. And we know what the groups we're managing, as in our team is, but now we're kind of distributed amongst 3 camps as well. So that's going to play in effect. How that's going to play in effect, we don't really know, but it's there.
Yeah.
Again,
I,
like
I,
Asafai
I,
said,
I had a wristband in every camp, so inshallah, don't worry. I'll come in every camp, pay you a visit.
you had 2 last year.
Yeah, modular cups, I'm thinking, but now we have to have 72B one as well.
72B, yeah.
I've been there
Um,
before.
Going back, this is like a small little pictures that we put up to show you the wudu facilities, the queues, and how the actual tent within. This is from, I believe, last year, and how the actual tent looks like. So these tents are all so where the sofa bed is, last year they were numbered. So you'd have so the wristband that Asaba is talking about, which is given technically a couple of hours before you even get to Mina. It's not given before that, or sometimes given to you on the bus because we receive them the rate. It's the way the logistics are done from the ministry. But you'll be given like a wristband with a number, and that will be your bed within Mina. That's what happened last year, never happened the year before. It was done so there's nobody out from outside taking that space, because what was happening in the years before was all of a sudden we walk into our tent and there's 20 other people already there, and we're just scattered now trying to find beds. So, and then that was like because random people were coming on who didn't have Hajj visas were just getting into Mina tent. So it was basically a way of controlling that. And so you'll have a wristband with a number which will be linked to your sofa bed. So one of these blue chair type of thing, which then stretches in out to become a sofa bed, and that will have your name under it as well. So it's not just your number; it'll have your name as well. So that will be your bed. Now, people tend to say, "What if we're a family of three, but my sister's on 10 beds away?" Again, like I said before, you can amongst yourselves you can adjust, but the most important thing is to get onto your sofa bed so that you know the count is right and there's no one that's not meant to be there that's there. And then after that, amongst yourselves, you can do that. Another thing of Mina, and Mina, if you look at them doors, you got the AC underneath as well, right? So these doors, now imagine in this, I believe there's going to be about 60, 70 people in this row. So each row's got roughly about 28, sometimes more, sometimes slightly less. But imagine how many of you are going to go out, back in, and that door then keeps opening, keeps closing. And some of the older uncles and myself, I come in that category now, right? We kind of do get upset because all of a sudden that AC that's on, you're just letting all this hot heat coming, and trust me, it's going to be warm, regardless if Hajj is going 10 days the other way now, it's still hot, right? So then obviously medicine, water, hydration, keeping up with things, energy tablets. These are things that you'll need during these days. But that's a brief on Mina, where you'll come in on the 7th or 8th of Zulhijjah. Once you're in, arrive, settle down. You know, that day is basically you're there, you're relaxed, you kind of get the feel of Mina, and you're going to leave on the 9th of Zulhijjah in the morning. Um, just 1 second.
So it's just basically once you get there, the first day of Mina is the day of rest. That's why you're there, because it gets full on after that. Get used to your surroundings. First time you go to the bathroom, take someone with you. Always take someone with you. As soon as you get in your tent, take pictures everywhere, because everything inside looks the same. So many people just go to the bathroom and get lost trying to get back because everything looks the same.
All
Everything's
looks the
white.
same.
Yeah,
You
everything.
take a wrong left there, you're gone for a
You're
few
gone.
hours.
Yeah, and
Take
then
your phone with you as well at all
phones.
times.
Phone, it has to go with you when you go to the bathroom, wherever you keep it with you in your money belt, hang it up, keep it safe with you, because so many times that's when people do disappear and then looking for one tent to another tent, they ended up to a completely different area. So always go with someone. Get used to your surroundings. The main points are the point you enter, record it from the outside. Take your phone out, video it. Right, I've got in, because the guys will take you to your tent. So at least you could go back and revisit it, how to do that. And then even when you go from your tent, record it. Right, okay, I'm straight, and talk to the video. Going straight, I'm gonna go left. That's the bathroom. Okay, so when I come back, I need to come here, and just get used to your surroundings, because you are going to be there that first day for full until Fajr of the next day, and also the other 2 days you're going to be there after you come back from Arafah and Muzdalifah. So it's very important to get used to your surroundings.
Just touching on that, normally what we do is obviously if we manage to get to see the tents before, we kind of pin the locations exactly, you know, with the number coding at the top of the tents, which we'll do share at the time, and we share the pins and the location. So if you ever do get lost, even not just within the tents, like the compound area, but when you go for a walk outside, you take a wrong left, they all look the same as well. So normally we share that so you don't try to get lost. We do our best, and inshallah you'll be fine. Um, the following day is then going to be the 9th of Zulhijjah, the main day of Yom al Hajj, the day that everybody's been waiting for. the reason of this whole journey. So that we tend to leave Mina after Fajr. You will see that there are groups out there that will start leaving at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, but it's sunnah to leave after Fajr, and we've been doing that every year, and we try to do that going forward in the future as well. Now, the I don't know if Observer's got these pictures. Maybe we'll do it in the next webinar that we do before, because I'll do probably another two before we depart, so it just builds up. So basically, that's a numbered thing. So the coaches, the groups are numbered. So let's say, for example, there's 30, 40 different groups. We'll be given a number. We can be given number 1. We can be given number 10. We can be given the last number, which means we have to queue. There's a lot of queuing up in Hajj, right? But we're going to have to wait for our turn. So normally, let's say if there's number 10 and we're number 13, when it comes to around number 10, that's when we'll come back to all the other Hajis and tell them, listen, guys, we need to get ready now. Pack your bags. Talking about bags, I'm going to go one step back on the 7th of Zil Hijjah when we get on the coach. Also, if you know, we have people with trolleys and suitcases, and, you know, and we tell everyone every year, please get a small backpack.
Only a backpack.
Have a small backpack. Do not bring these trolleys and your suitcases and, you know, the ones that you take cabin bag. You don't need it.
No, you got
You're just making it difficult for yourself. You know, sometimes no disrespect to no one at all, but myself, let's talk about myself. I just about get onto a bus. Now, on top of that, I got my ihram on, which I'm taking care of as well at the same time, right? And at the top of that, I've got like a suitcase that I got to drag as well. I can just about drag myself. You don't need that suitcase. All we need is travel light. This is something we tell, because if you go back to that picture of Mina as well, Abu Zar, again, so you can actually see the amount of space that's there. With that space, where we're going to start putting these suitcases. Although if you look at the top, there is a rack, but how many suitcases are actually going to be fitting there? So we're just making it difficult, one, for ourselves, two, for the people around us. It's more even yourself. Trust me, it's especially the last day when we start leaving and there's not enough buses, or we don't know how we can get back to our hotels and so forth. So please travel light. Please do that. Let's go back to the 9th of Zil Hijjah. Once we've got into Zil Hijjah, Arafat, in that's like your time. You'll have rest. You have to pray your Dhuhr there. You're going to pray your Asr there. And then again, at the time of Maghrib, we do not pray Maghrib there, but the Azan's going to be called. Again, it's a numbering system. This part of Arafat that I've seen in the years before, because it's like, do we have a picture of that, Abzor, where the cages, where everyone has to cage up, and then no, we don't have it here. So it's a queue. And this is a part where people have now just sought forgiveness. They've made dua, they've sought forgiveness, they've done everything, and all these people just run for these buses, not just run, they just like push each other and move each other. And, you know, there's a lot of things that happen. So it's important, number one, you follow instructions. Number two, to be patient. You have to, there will be a lot of standing on that day, because now the buses are going to be moving. So we've done Mina on the 8th of Zil Hijjah, got to Mina. Now on the 9th morning, we left Mina to get to Arafat. And 9th now, we're going from after Maghrib, Azan's been done. We're going to leave any time. So it can be 10 o'clock in the night, 11 o'clock in the night, 12 in the night, 1 in the morning. So the 9th and the 10th of Zil Hijjah, these nights. But you're going to queue up. You're going to have to be extremely, extremely patient, because it's the way the first few buses come very quickly, Asif, right? And after that, they start slowing down and they start trickling then, because of the traffic that's leading up to Muzdalifah.
There's no azan in Arafat, so the sun will go down, the sun will set,
correct,
and then you'll just be ready to finish. So there's no azan in
so
Arafat.
We do not pray Maghrib in Arafat. That's something we're going to pray in Muzdalifah. So what I mean by that is Maghrib time, basically.
What Zahid is saying is, you've done all this preparation, you've asked for forgiveness, and that time we have seen it year on year, literal punches flying for people trying to jump in.
Abuse amongst each other.
Yeah, everyone gets into Muzdalifah. What's the rush? What is the rush? And we tell people, I don't know why, but at that time, everyone just wants to get on a bus. There's no need, especially the young as well. Look, give elders the priority. The young should walk. And this is why I was mentioning to Zaid Bhai. If you are fit and well in the UK, going gym and everything, walk the whole of the Hajj. You know, it's a complete humbling experience when you do the walking of Hajj. And
Just
you know, you've got guides that have got
touching
experience in this.
just touching on that. The other thing that we got to understand is obviously in Mina, the tents where the sisters are going to be separate, and for the males it's going to be separate, right? So you're not going to be with your spouses or with your mother or with your sister within the tent. It's segregated as it should be, right? So sometimes what happens is that, another scenario will happen is that, for example, someone's mother, someone's daughter, they've got onto a bus, and the guys, because normally sometimes they segregate them in females and males, and then the guy's like, my wife's going, I'm going to lose her, she's going to get lost, and my sister, and so forth, which is understandable, but they're never going to get lost, because the next point they're going to get dropped off at is where MCDC are. So you won't lose them even if they get onto a bus. So we had this scenario last year where the buses started trickling down, and there was a lot of people standing. So in that time, we then decided, I was there, so I decided, look, we need to get the females out. So obviously, we got the women mainly out, but then there were the males left. So we tend to said to them, look, they're all going to get there. They're going to all be there at the next stop. It's like one bus stop to the next bus stop. So you'll be able to see them there. So that scenario can happen. So don't panic in that scenario either. Abu Zar. So now we're at Muzdalifah. So Arafat, after Maghrib, wait with group, guide number it's assigned, which I've just mentioned, arrive and settle in Muzdalifah. Do not pray Maghrib in Arafat, pray Maghrib and Isha in Muzdalifah. Be patient during transfers. Extremely important, be patient during transfers. Once you do get to Muzdalifah, this is an overnight picture of Muzdalifah. You can see these like red carpets there now that were never there before. This has started to happen in the last 2-3 years. But this is more or less Muzdalifah. We will go more in depth in our next webinar on Muzdalifah and Mina and so forth. This is where you're now going to pray your Maghrib and Isha. This is where you should collect roughly 21 pebbles, and it's sunnah to stay till Fajr in Muzdalifah
49,
to pray Fajr. And yeah,
49
49, just
pebbles
for
and
in case for the
70.
13th of Zulhijjah, an extra 21, just in case
Yeah,
they get stuck. So that would be 70, right? So
70.
it's best
Yeah.
to always get 70. You may not
Yeah,
need
Umar,
70, but anyway, so this is more or less Muzdalifah. Now, Muzdalifah, going back to Mina, we always say, because our tents, especially Al Muaysam tents are a lot closer to Muzdalifah walking than we are to the Jamarat. So from Muaysam to Jamarat is further away, but Muzdalifah to Muaysam is very, very close. By how long walking wise? 30 minutes? I've lost ourselves. Yeah, so it's roughly around that time. So getting from Muzdalifah to Mina, we say to everyone, because if you thought getting from Arafat to Muzdalifah on transport was difficult, then Muzdalifah getting out to Mina is more difficult. So we tend to tell everyone that try to walk from Muzdalifah getting back to Al Muaysam. So we, as in the guides, have a group, the Hajjis that are with us, we tend to just walk from there. There are going to be Hajjis that are not able to walk, and they have no choice but to use the transport. So we'll have some of us, our brothers that will be there, including myself. I normally stay back till the last Haji has got onto a transport and then got into Mina. So that possibility is there. Then is we get back to Mina. So next slide, Abuzar. So we get back to Mina on now we're touching the 10th of Zulhijjah. So this is the first day of stoning. So we get back to Mina, we have a brief rest, freshen up, make fresh wudu, get back and have a little light snack, maybe in Mina, freshen up, get some drinks, get some waters in our bag, and then we walk as a group to the Jamarat. Once we get to the Jamarat, you're going to pelt that Jamarat on that. Only one shaitan we pelt on that day. So it's 7. Once we've done the 7, then we walk back towards we're going to probably have these signs up next week, is more or less to a street sign called Shari Sidki, or you say Sidki Street. It's like a downhill that leads to the main Azizia. So if you're staying in Azizia, from this point, it doesn't make sense to go back and turn back on yourself and go to Al Muaysib. So what we tend to do is follow the Sidki street sign. From Shari Sidki, you go down. You're going to go down a hill. It's like a slope that leads all the way to the main street of Azizia. If you're staying in Johar al Hashmiya or Burak al Masi, to be fair, Burak al Masi is just as the slope ends, Burak al Masi, the hotel's there, so you're extremely close. Johar al Hashmiya and Azizia is slightly further up, but it's on the off the main road, so it's not too far as well. So you have no choice but to walk to them two hotels. This now, going back now, 10th of Zilhijjah is, let me just, maybe I've just gone a bit ahead of myself, is extremely busy, hectic day of Makkah. I believe the 10th of Zilhijjah, so the 7th of Zilhijjah, I won't say is as busier because you still have government buses running. 10th of Zilhijjah and the 12th of Zilhijjah. I will say 10th is more pinnacle than any other day, including the 12th of Zilhijjah, meaning it's a lot busier. For those of you that are staying in Makkah Towers, for example, or you're staying in Aska Safa 1, or what other hotel, Courtyard by Marriott, whoever the guide, we ourselves make sure because the buses stop running, they stop running. So we then tend to do is get to the main road, just try to flag down transport, get all the Hajjis onto a bus. And, sometimes I think it's something like 35 riyal to 50 riyal they charge per person, pay the bus driver, and these buses then will take us as close as possible to have a hotel because Makkah's gridlocked at this point, right? It doesn't mean that it was going to drop you directly outside your hotel. And then this is another thing that these buses can take hours. When I say hours, it can be a 40-minute bus ride, 30-minute bus ride. It can be an hour, it can be 2 hours. It might be a wrong turning. You have no choice but to stay on that bus. Other alternative is you walk back to Makkah if you can, right? The walking distance that very rarely, there's not many Hajjis who do that. I would not say if you're physically fit, you can do it. Do it. If you're not, then we have to get the transport, right? So that will be the 10th of Zilhijjah. Going one step back after the stoning. So after the stoning, if you've purchased the Qurbani through ourselves, or you're going to, then we've been doing it for about 20 odd years now, that after the stoning, we'll give you a number of one of the brothers who'll be there, and you just mention your name. So flan, 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 we've completed our stoning. Please do have a Qurbani on our behalf. So once you have done Qurbani, then only then you can shave or trim your hair and then come out of the clothing of Ihram, i.e. the Ihram clothing that you wear, and then you can do ghusl, and only then can you do Tawaf of Hajj. Right? So these things are already mentioned. Now, once because once you get to your hotel, you're actually familiar how to do Tawaf now because you've done Umrah, you've done Tawaf. You don't need to wait for your guide. Your guide, he's going to be exhausted at this time. Someone's at a Qurban Gah, someone's looking for someone's been misplaced. There's hundreds of things that you guys will not even, I won't say hundreds, I'll say thousands maybe in that whole journey that you will not even see what the guide's going through. So you'll be thinking, oh, wait up, he's just sitting down having something to eat. He's not. He's actually doing certain other things as well. So that's probably something that you may not see, but he's doing that behind the scene. So you can then continue, do your tawaf, do a tawaf of Hajj. You come back, get a meeting point together. So last year we gave instructions that there were buses how to go back to Mina from under the Fairmont Clock Tower, then get into Qudai, and then go from Qudai. There was buses running to Al Muaysam and Majr al Kabr. We'll talk in depth about this in the next webinar because I think it's running slightly late as well now because we're going to open up for Qs and As. So that would be the 10th. So we've come into the 10th, the first day. We've done the stoning, we've done our Qurbani, we've done our hair, we've done our ghusl, we've done our tawaf, and we've managed to now somehow, alhamdulillah, we got back to Mina, which is a struggle, but I'll go into depth on that in the next one. That means I want people to join my next webinar as well, right? So if I start, so next one, I'm going to go more in depth on Muzdalifah, more in depth on getting to the Haram, and then going from Haram, how do we get back to Mina as well? And then getting from Mina back to the Haram or your hotel. When I say Haram, I meaning your wherever you're staying, your hotel within Haram. On the 12th of Zulhijjah. So that'll be my next webinar, maybe during this week, and then I'll go more in depth on that. Plus, it's a reminder each time we talk about these things, it's like you're going to pick them up. So you'll be in a bit of a better scenario when you get to Makkah al Mukarramah, inshallah, for the days of Hajj. So then we're back into Muzdalifah, back into Mina on the 10th night, 11th morning. By the time you do your tawaf and everything, now you've done your tawaf of Hajj, you've practically done your Qurbani, you've done your hair, you've done Muzdalifah, you've done Arafat. The only two things really we have left to do is the Rami, i.e. the stoning on the day of 11th, which we're going to do 3 stones. So it's more or less the chilled out day than the days that were happening before. So you're just going to go to the Jamrat, walk as in group if you want. If someone's familiar now, they want to do it in their own time. We encourage people to leave around Asr time and get back to your tent by Maghrib. As the sun it's not as at its highest peak at that time because it gets really warm, hot after Dhuhr. So Asr, you go, you stone, three shaitans you're going to stone, and you're going to turn back on yourself. And then the last day of stoning, again, you're going to do 3. And I'm going to tell everyone in my next webinar the logistics of what's going to happen during them days. And then you do your final day, and that is Hajj over, more or less. And then we're just going to go more in depth. So, Barakallah fi. Abu Zar, should we open for questions? So I've basically left 10, 11 and 12 to cover more in depth in the next webinar.
A few more slides left, so let's quickly skip through them.
Yeah, so hotels are so all this I'm going to go through in the next webinar. Distance, location, how to get past by, and things like this. So we're going to have one during the week, or I think next weekend, maybe Saturday. So next weekend's the first, and then I'll do one more before everyone actually departs. So 2 more me and Asif are doing. So patience is part of the logistical plan or logistics plan. It's extremely important. Extreme heat, so health and safety, extreme heat, hydrate, water, plenty of water. What do you say, Asif boy?
Yeah, plenty. Electrolytes, got them Vimto ones. When I did the marathon, that's why I had Vimto electrolytes. Very useful. And then get them cold water bottles, you know, the ones that keep hot, cold drinks cold. Definitely get 2 of them each because once you get water and then when you go into the Jumrat, you've not got that much water. You got some stations, but then when you slow down, the queues are a bit big. But if you have your own water bottles, you're gonna get drinks in the tent, you're gonna get water in the tent, you fill it in before you go to the Jumrat. By the time you get to the Jumrat, it's like an hour and a half walk in. You'll have it, it'll feel nice and cool. So definitely get water bottles. We'll mention a lot of the other stuff that essentials to buy, you know, when we do next couple of webinars, inshallah. Any other questions on the thingy? Any questions, anyone? Hold on, there's like 88.
Yeah, I think we've got quite a few questions.
Mainly about packages, in it. Where is the option to
Things
join?
go wrong. I'll be pushing into this one in my next webinar as well. Things go separate. If things go wrong, medical, transport, we're going to do all this in depth because otherwise it's going to be too much in one. 1 second. Thank you, Bazar, for that. And thank you for making the slides as well.
Majority of the questions I'm looking at, even now on the webinar, is all about the WhatsApp groups, the guys. Can we open them up? With all the chats and everything, we're going to open them up once the final stages have been announced. Because all that's going to happen now is you've had some people from the beginning, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. This phase finished now. We're hoping there might be another phase. So questions will be
Sunday,
just repeated. Yeah.
possible.
Yeah, questions just going to get repeated. So that for now, anyone has any questions, just reach out to the admin. You've got our numbers. I answer questions all the time, and I say, listen, if any other guy doesn't answer your question, don't worry. You could just message me.
Plus, as we're adding the groups, right? So we get a lot of fraudulent numbers, a lot of people that shouldn't even be in that group. So we got to filter out everyone as well. So it does take time to do that. We will open the group chats up once when we have everybody in the group chat. So then everyone can get familiar with everyone. We're going to do that 100%. But for now, I think just give us a couple of days, maybe sometime next week, inshallah, we'll get that.
Yeah, but any pressing issues, you could just message me.
You can always message us. I say exactly the same thing. You got my number, you have Asif, you got all the admins. Message any of us.
Yeah.
You'll get a reply.
Because the majority is just mainly, I'm just looking through the questions, is about that. Any equipment? Usually last year, yes, there was some stuff provided in the tents, but because due to all service providers were providing a backpack and everything, but this year, due to the current situation in the Middle East, a lot of the stuff that comes in from China and the Strait of Hormuz is having issues being opened and closed. We don't know if you are going to get the backpacks in time. So any essentials we say take with you, but anything like a fan or whatever, that's what you're going to get. A fan. You're not going to get nothing like a power bank. They're not going to give you a power bank, but they'll probably give you.
You know what we're going to do? Yeah. We'll share a video from last year, what was actually in that bag.
I know, but this year, a lot of other service providers have also been telling their thing. This was last year, but because of all the stuff comes from China and the current situation, we don't know if the stuff will arrive in Saudi in time for us to distribute. So just be aware of that.
What I mean by sharing that video, because I can see it's all basic stuff. It's not really something that, I think probably the sleeping bags, probably the main one that you get out there.
Yeah, but even then, no one uses them because it's so hot. You don't sleep in your sleeping bag, you're sleeping on top. And a lot of people last year, they just took the chadar and the pillow from Arafat. You just grab that.
So basically, even if we're in Makkah, and let's say if that was to happen where we don't get them goodie bags, right, for some strange reason, we'll know a couple of days before and then we can adapt. And then we'll say, okay, these are the essential things that we need to cash by, like maybe something to just cover yourselves out in Mina or something. So we can go through that closer to the time. The most important thing is your medicine, your medical, the dehydration, chargers, power banks, everything else like umbrellas, things like this. Worst case scenario, we can purchase them from there.
Yeah. Someone saying that they've still not received a visa. I'm just messaging them. Just no problem. Any issue, just contact me, and then I'll help you with that. If you've not received a visa, if you've had any issues with the biometrics, we can help with that as well. Because a lot of people couldn't get their fingerprinted. You could request exemptions as well, so we could help with that as well, inshallah. So any issues, just reach out to me after the webinar. Just send me a message. Abu will put my number up anyway, and I'll help you with your visas and your biometrics, inshallah.
Abu Zar, have you added the WhatsApp group chats for the packages?
At the beginning, I put the links up.
So if you can share them again and just tell everyone where they are, so they can join
in the chat. So if you're on your phone, there'll be like the 3 dots. If you click that, you'll see something called the chat section. If you click that, you'll see all the links and all the group chats on there with the names. And that's if you're on your phone. If your laptop, you should be able to see it. It should be a lot easier.
Yeah, but far ahead with the questions.
Yeah.
Anybody raise their hand or anything, they can,
Couple hand raised. There's a brother called Mustafa. Assalamu alaikum.
Mustafa, you're going to have to unmute yourself. You're on mute.
On to the next person. So iPhone user. So you can.
You got to unmute yourself.
Hey, try next person, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Brother Abdullah. It's not something wrong with your settings by any chance, is it?
It's not. Maybe because they put the hand up from before. Maybe they just not realize. Let's try someone else. Assalamu alaikum. This is Fatima.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay, clicks now.
So I wrote down my question. So my question was, did the Sheikh say that after the first stoning, we go back to our hotels, not to Mina?
It depends on where your hotel is. So if your hotel is in the Azizia area, which is literally 10 minutes, 15 minutes away from the Jamarat, then it's easier to go to your hotel, shower up, freshen up, and then go to Makkah from your hotel. Because from the Jamarat, going back to the Muwaisim tent, it's about 1.5 hours going back on yourself.
Asif, just touching on that, is slightly longer because coming is more straight. Then we have to turn around. So we tend to get everybody back to Makkah because it's a lot easier because we're halfway there anyway to get the transport and go back. Then instead of turning back on
How
yourself.
about the other stoning? There's 2 more stonings. We keep going back and forth.
On the first day, you only do one.
So we go back to the hotel.
Yeah, I think
you go back.
Sister, you get confused. After the first day of stoning, if you want to go back to Makkah and not do your tawaf ziyarah, no problem. You know, you could go back to your tent. But what we're saying is, it's going to take you like 2 hours to go back to your tent, and it's going to probably take you less than that to get back into Makkah. If your hotel is in Makkah, if your hotel is in Azizia, it'll take you 15 minutes. So it makes sense because you could come out of Ihram to go to your hotel if it's in one of at the end of Sidkisi, like Brother Zahid mentioned, any of them hotels close by. At least you could go back to your hotel, you could come out of your Ihram, you could have a shower, and then decide: do you want to do Tawaf Ziyarah this day or the following day? If you think no, I don't want to do it today, no problem. You can make your way back to Mina. Do you understand? Because you've already had your shower, you've had your bit of a thing, and then you could go back to Mina. Or if you think, no, I want to get my Tawaf Ziyarah and my Hajj Sa'i done, then you could decide on making your route or your way to the Haram. Perform your Tawaf Ziyarah, perform your Sa'i. And we're not saying then you stay in your hotel in Makkah. No, Zaiba is saying then we will make our way back to Mina. Because the nights of Mina, you want to spend the nights.
Okay, yeah, this was my question. Yeah,
Yes,
so we go back to Mina.
according to some fiqh, it is wajib, and according to some, it is mustahab, a sunnah. So that's why, don't worry, don't panic. Oh no, because this is a wajibat for you. Don't worry, it is just choice.
To go back.
Yes,
if we physically can.
Yeah, this is a choice that you can have, that you will be able to make at that time. So if you say no, for me it's wajibat to go back and spend the nights of Mina, then no problem. We could guide you to how to go back to Mina or guide you back to Mina. But we just saying because of the logistics, you've already halfway there. Especially if you're Azizia hotel, you could just go back to your hotel, shower up, and then go back to Mina.
In this scenario, I can go back to the hotel, shower, and do my tawaf.
Sa'i, and then
go back, come back to Mina, and then do the second stoning.
Yes, from Mina. Correct.
Okay.
The second stoning will be on the second stoning will be on the 11th of Zulhijjah.
Yes. On the next
and then the third day of stoning will be on the 12th. So technically, this will be 10th of Zulhijjah.
Okay.
And by the time you get back and everything, will be like 10th night, 11th early morning. By the time you've completed your tawaf and everything.
Yes, now it is very clear. Jazakumullah khair.
Yeah, but remember, everyone's Hajj is circumstances, and the Hajj is different.
Yes.
So you tell us, no, brother, I want to go back to Mina. No problem. We'll arrange it. If we can arrange it, we'll try to arrange it. If not, we'll make sure we have someone to help you and assist you, or even via WhatsApp, sharing your live locations, and over the phone, we'll guide you to your tents. I've done this numerous times.
Okay. Jazakumullah khair.
Okay. Next question, Abuzar.
Yeah, brother Mohammed Ismail, we've got a lot of hands up, by the way, loads.
Yeah, don't worry. Whack them out. I'll go through while you're doing that. I'll go through the written ones.
Just a quick question, brother. So you mentioned earlier that you must, or it's really advised to keep your ihram in your hand luggage, and you emphasized on that. So I just want to clarify: is that only if you're going to Makkah first?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
If you go to Medina first, you can put in your main luggage.
You don't need to.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. Jazakallah khair.
Okay. Next. While you're sorting that out, I'll just go through the text ones as well. Custom flight question. Once we find the MCDC stuff at Jeddah, will the transport to Medina be by train? It depends if you have in your package by train. If not, it'll be bus. If you want to go by train, yes. If you want to go by train and there's trains available and it's not part of your package, speak to the guide and we'll try to assist you with the purchasing of a train ticket. Again, that'll be on your own expense.
From the airport or to the airport, meaning when you land from the airport to Makkah, or from the airport to Medina, or from Medina back to Jeddah, or Makkah back to Jeddah, or whichever airport you're going to, there is no trains provided in any of MCDC's packages.
Yeah. But
So
if you
that's
want
not
to go
provided.
by,
But if
yeah,
they wanted to do that and their timing of their flights were with the train, they can purchase
yeah. Well,
a train ticket.
the guides will help you with that. If not, just contact us and we'll do it.
Brother Fabriz, Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, Salam, brother. I've got a couple of questions.
Yeah.
We just purchased Alhamdulillah yesterday. How long does the biometrics usually take to get accepted? We just did ours today.
2 hours to 2 days to 2 weeks, just depends.
Okay.
So just
Okay.
wait on that, but definitely before you
Yeah.
fly, inshallah. If you're
Sure.
1 week before your departure time, if you not got it, reach out to us. That's panic mode.
Sure.
Until then,
Okay.
don't worry, you'll get inshallah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, no problem. And who is the GL B5 guide?
So
All
that's
guides,
with ourselves, but
yeah.
we're gonna let you know probably next week
Sure.
which guide it's gonna be exactly traveling on that.
Yeah. Once all the
Okay.
sales fairs are closed, inshallah, we'll do it.
Inshallah. And then in terms of Nusuk ID card, is that something we get on arrival?
Something
At
that
the
you'll get
hotels.
at your hotel, either in Makkah or Medina.
Yeah.
Okay. And my final question is, obviously there's a lot of people, loads of guides, loads of problems that can happen. Will there be like a MCDC meeting point, let's say at the camps? So should someone get lost, it's like, okay, go here and they will be able to support you. Or even in Mecca, there's a spin, like a location that if something goes wrong, you could go here, MCDC representative will be able to help you.
It's not MCDC representative. Anyone that is lost, the police, and then you have the scouts. They have a lost and found area or lost and found people, and they're everywhere. They've got hospital pop-ups in Arafah, Mina, everywhere. You will go there. They will scan your finger, and then they will try to contact MCDC direct. Then who will then contact either your service providers, then your guide. Best thing is WhatsApp, and
They
then
tend to normally give you scouts as well.
yeah, take a screenshot.
Okay.
The scouts, the fantastic lost and found. I actually went in there last year just to have a look. AC, power chargers, wires. They were giving you fluids, liquids, everything. This was in Arfa when I was just going for a walk, and I thought, oh, yeah, this is brilliant. Not seen it before, so it's very, very a lot better organized than previous years. But the best thing
We'll be sharing all the WhatsApp we're going to be pinning them all in our group so you can see where you need to be or when you need to go, and it's a lot better now in the last 5-6 years, because so you'll be fine, inshallah.
No worries. Thank you.
Next, I'll answer the questions online. And for people. Is there anyone else? Question?
Yeah, there's a
I'll just read some while you're trying to find the next person.
Anas, Assalamu
Assalamu alaikum.
So
Hello, brothers. Thank you for this informative webinar. Quick question. I see talks about the biometrics. I got my visa over email. I didn't do any biometrics. Is that like I don't need it?
So biometrics are only for British passport holders. So let's
okay.
get that right. So if you don't have a British passport holder, you don't have a British passport, you do not need to do biometrics.
Okay.
So that's actually a good question. Sorry, we did not realize to clarify that.
Okay. All good then. Thank you.
Yeah.
Brother Shaf, Assalamu alaikum. The brother Amir. No. There's a lot of written questions, so we'll just start knocking.
Yeah, I'm just like knocking them out anyway. So we've already answered the first one that's there. Guide for people. We said next week you'll know a guide. How important is the Nusuk app for Hajj? Very important. The card or keep the app. We will be allowed to book a flight directly to Medina 1 week before the package starts. We will be allowed to book a flight directly to Medina. Your flight is with your package, so I think it's whatever flight you've got. Unless you want to buy a separate flight, that's up to you. I have a waiting of 20 hours in Abu Dhabi. Do I still have a chance of changing it? This any flight that you've booked, even if it's a custom flight, the only way to change it is via the Musafir website, via Nusuk, or you have to contact the airline. Fortunately, in this last round, there were a lot of airline 20 hours waiting, 17 hours waiting. It is what it is right now. I think you can't change it. You could try, but that request is not from MCDC. It's going to be directly with the airline. Do we need to buy a camping bag? No, you don't. If you do, you could also buy it from Bin Dawood shopping malls in the thing. Do we need vaccine? Yes, you do. ACWY meningitis one you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, when will the guys be assigned? We've answered that. Guides one. Ihram, no. I think MCDC provide Ihram and goodie bag. We've answered it. Ihram, if you're in Makkah, you get the bag in Mina, by the way. You don't get it beforehand. You don't get it before you leave. You get it in Mina. You already need to be in an Ihram before you enter Mina. So don't rely on that. So just buy your own essentials. Essentials you need to carry with you. Luggage sizes to take with us. That's just going to be the standard airline ones. You can contact your airlines with once you've got your ticket, and they'll tell you. Landing in Jeddah as part of my custom flight, but my hotel is in Medina first. It doesn't matter. Like we've already mentioned before, once you land in Jeddah, if your package starts in Medina, you don't have to wear an ihram, and there will be MCDC staff at Jeddah that will put you either on a bus. And if you don't want to go on a bus and you want to go on a train, that's entirely up to you. If it allows, because you might land early morning, there might be no trains, so you might be quicker just getting on a bus and just getting to Medina on a bus. E-tickets, if it's not on Nusuk, if you've not got your itinerary on of the flights, don't worry, you'll get it. Panic mode only sets in a week before you have to fly out. If you've not received it by then sure, contact us and we'll expedite it faster. To clarify, anyone on custom flies, they will fly to Jeddah, contact the guides. Yes, correct. Purchasing the eSIM, you could purchase an eSIM beforehand. So if you're going to buy them online SIMs like Aerola or anything like that, you buy that SIM from the UK and activate it in the country. You cannot buy it once you're already in Saudi. Very important with eSIMs. A lot of people make this mistake. Buy it from the UK, activate it once you land in Saudi, but you could buy the local SIM cards there as well. Tickets, we've
SIM
already
cards are way
mentioned.
better.
Yeah, local ones are much better. Tickets,
Much
we've already
better.
mentioned. Between Saudi. Again, if you've not already got your ticket next week, when will we get the tickets and transport tickets between sites? The transport tickets you don't need. If you're going on a bus, there is no bus ticket. Even the trains, you'll get it probably just before you're going to
Closer to the
travel.
time.
Yeah. It's usually on the day or just before you're going to be traveling. That's when we get a hold of any train tickets. But bus tickets, you don't need any bus tickets. The group guide is your ticket.
Yeah, group روضة.
Yeah.
maybe group روضة.
Okay, so with Group Roller last year, we technically we didn't get many groups to get the roller permits. Well, we weren't given them, so a lot of them you can just book off the road. You know, the Umrah Nusuk app, and you tend to manage to book through there. That's what I think vast majority of Hajjis did last year.
Yeah. Is
And
this
if you
more?
do manage to secure the group ones, then at least you get to go twice.
Yeah.
So with flight tickets, so basically we're getting these questions regarding flight tickets. Flight tickets, once you've purchased a package and you've been successful, do not worry about it. You don't need to worry about it. They will come to you well before you travel. They'll be sent out to you either through Al Musafir, either through Nusuk, or either through the service provider. So that's something you do not need to worry about right now. The second thing is the guides. You do not need to worry about the guides. They will be allocated to every single package. And before you travel, you'll exactly know who the guide is. What you have to understand is many of us managed to purchase in the first phase. Some of us did it in the second. Some of us did it in third. Some of us did it in fourth. Officially, we've not had an answer or a statement from the Ministry of Hajj to say that this Hajj sales have been closed. Till we don't get that, there's always still a probability or a possibility of another phase opening for those people who still haven't managed to secure a package. So it's like still work in progress, you know. So they're still putting everything together. They've still got beds that haven't been probably sold in certain packages. So you just got to be patient. So guides, you will get information. Flight tickets will come through. So this is something that nobody needs to worry about. It's going to happen automatically. It's going to come through either Nusuk or the guide will get in touch with you. Every package on Nusuk will have their guide details. So maybe in the next week, maybe in 2 weeks' time, it will be shared on Nusuk also that so and so is your guide and he has his details as well. And they'll probably reach out to you as well, and something that MCDC will share as well. So nothing to worry about.
What are the wuzu facilities like in Muzdalifah? They're just a tap, massive queues, massive toilet queues. That's why having a spray bottle that you can just put water in and spray yourself, a lot of people use that, or a plastic bottle filled up from the nights before when the queue's quieter, and just use that to do wuzu. Because the toilets and the wuzu queues are very big. Someone else wrote about walking. Yes, there is a walking Hajj guide. That's me. I'm the only one that does the full thing walking. So again, we'll guide you to that. No one else does it. It's just me. I'm a bit crazy like that. Yeah. And someone has booked a
How
package.
many steps do you get normally every Hajj, roughly?
Last year, because there weren't enough guides, my step count for last year, forget step count, my walking was 180 miles. I did walking in 16 days that you sent me. And that was like, because there was less guides, so we had to do double the umrahs, Madina, Makkah, Madina, Makkah, Madina, and I did everything walking plus Hajj Kiran. You forget that the tawaf, you know, you might think it's just 7 rounds, but that adds up to your mileage, your sa'i adds up, going back and forth from your hotel to Haram, that adds up, walking from all these various tents to Jamrat, you forget. That's why it's very important to start walking from now, especially men. You've bought slippers. If you bought them, wear them from now. The weather's beautiful. Go out in them slippers. People think, yeah, I'm walking, but they're walking in their trainers. When you're in the Hajj, you're going to be walking in your slippers, your tawaf, your sa'i, and all that. So try to walk in them slippers. And then if you're going to do the full Hajj walking, then make sure you have a nice pair of trainers. Because once you come out of Ihram, wearing them trainers, it's like you're on cloud 9.
Yeah.
Are these sessions recorded? Yes, I think they are recorded. You'll be able to
Yes.
see it after. Are we allowed to walk from hotel to Mina on the 8th of Zil Hajj after Fajr? Not advisable if you are not with a guide. Yeah, because you know the police do a lot of they close a lot of the roads off, so you might be following Google Maps, but the checkpoints and the police will close it off and they'll send you and you'll end up getting lost. If you do want to walk, we will have a separate walking WhatsApp group. You can join that group. Like I said before, I'm the lead. I do leave after Fajr on the 8th. So if you're in Aziza, you have to make your own way to Haram to pray Fajr. You pray Fajr in the Haram, and on the 8th of Zil Hajj after Fajr is when the walking group departs from Makkah. Now, if you want to stay in your hotel in Azizia and you still want to walk, we will arrange for something to join the Makkah group with the Azizia group and everyone walking together to Muaisim. We don't leave anyone behind. So we will take you to your tent. 10 to 10 service we provide, alhamdulillah.
We booked the package as Makkah first, then Medina, but chooses to book to do Medina first. Is it allowed?
Everything that you're going against your package, you have to let your guide know, and it's going to be on your own cost. Yes, it's possible. No one's going to stop you doing it, but you got to let your guide know, because your guide might be expecting you to be in a certain place and you're still in Medina. Anything that you want to plan, we'll help and assist you. You need to sort hotels out. You need to arrange train tickets. That's why the guide is there. If not, you could reach out to me, myself, Zahid Bhai, and we'll help and assist you with this. But that is on your own cost. Anything that you divert from the package that you've paid for is something that you have to pay for yourself on your own cost. Everything is possible, inshallah. Can you send a list of things to buy? We'll post that further down.
And Abu Zur, just send a video of last year of Imam Bilal with the goodie bag, so we can just say that this was normally provided. To share that in the group chats. So if you're not joined that group chat, just join them, so you'll be in there as well. So it'll be beneficial.
Is water not available en route to Jamrat? Yes, it is. They have water stations, but they every like 15-minute walk, and sometimes they queue for it, and they're very, very slow. They're one of them press, you press the button and it sprout out. They like that. So even to fill your water bottle is very tedious. So we recommend to fill up the water bottles, plenty of water available in your tents. You know, you got fizzy drinks, cold ice cream, everything. So fill your water bottle up. Every time you come to your tent, the first thing you do, you replenish everything. You know, your water bottles, your snacks. So then en route, if you do run out, you could just top it up. So that's why we say every time you go to your tent, top up. How many stones do you need? He said someone asked how many stones in Muzdalifah you need to collect 70, 49, but then an extra.
49 is minimum.
Yeah,
It's
49
good
is
to
the
have
minimum,
70.
and it's good to have 70 because some people also stay the 13th of Zil Hajj. So that's why we say collect 70.
You know the camp number, Mina? Yeah. I don't think
Yeah,
so.
when will we be getting flight tickets? We've already mentioned this. Don't panic. If you not got your flight
Panic
tickets,
about.
yeah, nothing to
Tickets and
panic about.
guides, you don't not need to panic about. You'll get that information.
Yeah, and flight tickets as well. A week before you're gonna get out, you'll get it. There is no local contact in the USA. Can you talk about that? Again, guides will be allocated
Again,
once
join
all
our group
since.
chat and you'll be
Yeah.
okay, inshallah. We'll be here to help.
How far is the walk back to Askar Safa? How long does it approximate? Askar Safa is right next to Haram, I think, isn't it? Askar Safa is right next to Haram. So
Right
basically,
next door.
the walk
So
from
basically, what
Jamrat,
they're asking is from Mina back to from Mina,
yeah,
from
the,
Jamarat back to Haram.
the walk from Jamrat back to Haram, you could do it in 1.5 hours, but because of the road closures, they divert you towards Marwa. So your hotel might be Askar Safa, which is near towards Ajiyat Street. I think it is opposite the palace. But that they won't let you come out. So they make you go through a final tunnel. So you end up at Marwa, cut through Haram and come back. That adds an extra half an hour. So it's usually 1.5 hours, but I'd say 2 hours, including that extra half an hour walk of that diversion. What about umbrellas? Will we get those? If you don't get the umbrellas, you could buy them there. They cost, I think, £2 or £4. The big ones cost, I think, £4, 20 reals. Small ones cost £2. So don't worry about umbrellas. And everything, majority of the stuff you're gonna buy from here, you will not take it back with you because you're gonna have shopping and kajur and all sorts of other things. You will end up leaving the stuff there. And if you're gonna do that, what we usually do is gather as much as possible in Medina and give it to the poor. So bear that in mind. Don't buy. I had a guy that said, "Yeah, gotta buy a sleeping bag." He ended up in some hiking shop, willing to pay 100 quid for a sleeping bag. Until I said, "What are you doing? Go to Asda. They bought 10 quid because the stuff that you get, you're only going to use it once or twice. You know, and you might also get it. We don't know. We don't know if you're going to be provided with a sleeping bag. If you do, then you're going to have 2 sleeping bags, and just donate it. You know, if you need to sleep in a sleeping bag, or you think, no, I feel comfortable if I have my own sleeping bag, then buy one. But just buy a cheap one that you don't mind leaving behind. So much of the stuff that I bought last year, I left behind. I left behind there, and I just buy new ones again because someone else picks it up. You'll see it by the next day or couple of days. All of that area is clean. Majority of these questions, back tricks.
Someone's asking what's the next webinar? The next webinar would be Monday, inshallah, with Imam Bilal Asif. Go through sandals, flip-flops, like footwear that we recommend and which is needed. And
Crocs.
the
For men, we say there's Crocs and UFOs. If you're gonna do all the Hajj walking, recommend UFOs. They're expensive, they're about 55 quid, but I can vouch for it. I had them last year, and I've been wearing them all year since then. And only this week I've took the new pair that I bought a few months back, and I've just started wearing them in now. So about 3-4 weeks before I'm flying out, I'm wearing them constantly to get them worn in because the blisters and all that, you don't want them to happen because you've not worn them in. And Crocs as well, and everyone's gonna have the same Crocs. The same thing is try to mark your own slippers or have a slipper bag and keep the slippers with you at all time. Even when you're going in and out of Mina and Arfa, just make sure your slippers are in, on your bed, because if you leave them over there, everyone else has got the same. They always end up going missing.
Obviously, because we're based in the UK and predominantly we do have a subcontinent following the Hajjis from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan. So we're getting asked about Urdu. So I'm sure we had one webinar in Urdu.
we do.
Was it
We're
last
gonna do
week?
another one, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
we're gonna
think
do
we
another
need
one.
to get Moran Khalid on to the Urdu one as well, please.
We already put it on the group chat next Thursday. Inshallah.
Yeah.
I like your room upgrade to doubles.
If there's a
Email
benefit,
the service provider, MCDC.
Some card questions. Someone says SIM cards will be provided by itself as a package, says it's provided.
So I think a lot of people have selected the SIM card as an additional thing, but my personal opinion, do not rely on them. I think we've had a lot of issues in the past where they've not been working.
Yeah, they give you
Some have, mind you, not everyone's,
the
but
SIM
it
cards.
happens.
Yeah, the SIM card that they provide, they only give you, I think, 1 GB or something like that. So then you're gonna have to top up anyway, and then it's just a headache. You'd rather just get your own SIM card from the beginning, with the
But
good top up.
these SIM cards are the best, also.
Yeah.
They always work.
Yeah, the ones that we buy. I'm talking about the Nusuk ones. Remember, Nusuk gave some.
Yeah.
The Nusuk
Because you
ones.
get 1 GB or something and it runs out, and then people can't top them up, and because the eSIMs, the vast majority of them, and they don't really work properly. So just purchase a SIM card, a lot easier. Have we got anyone raise their hands?
Yeah, there's a couple hands
Let's just
raised.
go through some, and then
Someone asked, why is it only British people that have to do biometrics? But that's just that's a Ministry of Hajj directive, nothing to do with us. Any answer on the wheelchair question? I've not seen the wheelchair question.
Hello, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Yep. So, Jazakallah for all this information. Just a couple of questions. So I got this Global 12 package, but I have not seen a WhatsApp link for that.
They will organize that. MCDC will. So they're going to assign a guide, and they'll get you into a group chat as well. So inshallah, just be patient. They'll reach out to you.
Right.
And nothing to worry about. And you can, till then,
yeah.
you can join all our webinars anyway. So there's no issues.
Okay, inshallah. And the second one is, if we, is there any chance to change the rooms, for example, once you're there?
If it's once you're there, will always be difficult, right? So if there's anything to do with upgrades, or you want to, change from a quad to a double or a quad to a triple, you should email MCDC in this sport. And then if it's something that they can manage, they'll get back to you. If not, they will let you know either way.
Right. Okay, inshallah. But what's the email? Can you just share?
I believe it's
in the chat.
Abu Zar, can you share that? It should be in your emails. If you manage to purchase a package, you'll have the email in the email address. Email would have been sent to you with the details.
Okay, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
Brother Abdul, assalamu alaikum.
Abdul.
Abdullah, assalamu alaikum.
Abdullah, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Brother Munawwar, assalamu alaikum.
Yes, sir. Walaikum salam. Brother, I just asked a question. I mean, is there any cash needed during those days for Hajj?
Good
from
question.
The 7th to the 10th?
So basically, within Mina, you're provided all 3 meals. There'll be buffet meals. You're provided all drinks, all fluids, teas, sandwich, snacks across the 24 hours. So technically, for food and drinks, you'll need a small amount, probably getting back, depending where your hotel is, to get back to your hotel. 100, 200 riyal, 300 riyal, maybe when you're walking between Jamrat to Mina or Mina to Jamrat, on the way you get little huts that have they sell drinks or water or something. You may stop there to purchase something, but that's about it. But most of them even take card, like the tap on our phones.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, brother. Jazakumullah khair.
Brother Bills. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, brother, yes.
Right. Do you know, I've done my biometrics, and I've got an email back from them saying your biometrics being successfully updated or uploaded, what it was. Do I get another email after that, or is that just the one that I need?
You get an email from MOFA, Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Yeah, I've got one from them.
No, you've got the thingy one that your application is successfully completed.
Submitted.
Yeah, so that's that first one. Once they issue your visa, you should get an email with regards to your visa.
I've got my email visa. I've got the visa email.
Then you should got your visa. If you still can't get hold of it, just message me and I'll.
I've actually got my visa. I've got all that. That's fine. But is
then you're done. The biometrics are only for getting hold of your visa. That's why they ask for biometrics.
So that's done then. That's all approved then. Yeah,
it's done.
Yeah, you're done.
That's fine. Jazakallah khair. Thank you.
Now you need your meningitis certificate and then book your kurbani with finger Brother Zahid by them lots. Then
share that as well.
Yeah, because anyone that's already got their visa,
details.
Next step is visa. Once you do your biometric, you've got your visa. You need your meningitis certificates 10 days before you're due to fly out.
Right.
The date on the certificate has to be within 10 days. If it's not, they can refuse to let you fly from the UK. So just be very, very, very careful on that. So you don't leave it till like the day before you're going to leave.
So no, Monday get that job needs to get done.
Yeah, get that done. And then Kurbani, get it paid now. So it's done. So then all you've got to worry about, you've done your Kurbani, you've done everything. Then it's just about, right, pack your bags, attend the seminars, read up on as much as possible.
And another question is, do you know, like you get them walking sticks? I fancy walking with you all the way through. I do actually.
I've never used a walking stick, but if you want to use a walking stick, you can. But remember, we have to carry our backpack with us. So I have my backpack I've had for like 15 years and it has everything in there. Then you want to carry a walking stick. If it's hot, you want an umbrella as well. Nowadays, I think you see them. You see them fans you could put around your neck, which is good. I've seen them that it folds up. I thought that's a brilliant idea. That I'm gonna buy one of them this year because the fan like folds up and hits your face while you're walking, so you don't have to hold as less as possible that you have to hold. What you can do is you could buy one of them big umbrellas from Saudi. Like I said, £4 they cost, 20 riyals. Use that as the walking stick, and when it's hot, pull it up. That's why I do.
Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, no problem.
Another question that I'm being asked as well, because people messaging me at the same time as well, is regarding Qurbani. So Qurbani, according to the Hanaf, the madhab is tartib. So Hajj has to happen with the tartib, with the sequence. So i.e. once you've done your stoning, only then your Qurbani can be done. So the way we do it is that you basically will message the number that we've given you, send your names to it, that brother will get it done, then message you back, and then only then you can shave or trim your hair and come out of the clothing of ihram.
Anisa, the details in the chat, so everyone should be able to see those details. Phone on there.
You can just WhatsApp
with contact details. Just WhatsApp him.
Someone's asking, do we need to install the app once in Medina? No, you can install the Nusuk app for Rauda from now. If it's not working for you, there's a hard reset that we can do. Just get in contact with us and we'll do it for you. Or I'll do it. I'll help you do that because a lot of people have been getting error messages. But you could download that Nusuk app from now. The geolocation element of booking the Rauda once you're there is once you're in the vicinity of Masjid al-Haram, that Nusuk app uses geolocation, it knows you're there, and then it'll prompt you within 20 minutes. If there's any bookings, they'll come up then. Will there be enough stones? There's plenty of stones in Muzdalifah, don't worry. Someone's worried there's not enough stones. Plenty of stones in Muzdalifah.
There's more than enough.
More than enough. Yeah, I mean, don't worry about that. Yeah, answered live. Ihram, how much if buying in Medina? If you want to buy Ihram in Medina, they vary from really thick ones and really thin ones, but you will not get the tube Ihram. The tube Ihram, which is a one piece for the bottom part, that's not open. You can only buy that from the UK. It costs about 25 quid. Any shops, Islamic shops or mosques that you do go to, if you ask them, I'm looking for a tube Ihram. The tube Ihram, and it's basically woven in one full piece, so there's no openings. So it's very easy to wear. You will not find that there, but you'll find all of the other types of ihram there. They vary in price between £5, 20 riyals, which is £4, to about 70 riyals for some quality ones.
So yeah, I booked MCDC 6688. Our package starts in Makkah after Hajj. Can we go to Medina early at my own cost? Yes, you can.
Yes, you can on your own cost, and we'll help and assist with
You're
this.
there for 25 days.
Yeah,
so you can do that.
a lot of people on that package have already been in contact with me and they want to spend a majority of the time in Medina. I said, no problem, we'll arrange all this for you after. Let's learn the logistics, let's learn about the Hajj and everything, and then we'll help and assist with this, because you might change your mind once you get there. You might realize, but you've already paid for a hotel and you think that, oh no, I'm just going to stay here now. So all that can be arranged after. No need to panic. Plenty of availability for hotels.
So yeah, we have a custom flight with Saudi Airlines. So most Saudi Airlines is 23 kg and one piece. So one piece check-in baggage, and it's 7 kg hand luggage as well. So it's small carry-on bag. Yeah, flight tickets from Nusuk website. When you log in, go to my itinerary. It says download ticket. Yeah, that's correct. Please, could you provide details of arrangements for wheelchairs?
Wheelchairs, you could either buy your own there, or hopefully service provider should be able to arrange that. If you requested it, that's a service provider should arrange that wheelchair for you.
Just keep that in mind that you can probably end up purchasing your own there.
And then just leave it there as waqf for anyone else.
Then you can just leave it with somebody that somebody else will end up using it there. So it'll be like a sadaqah jariyah as well.
Yeah. UFO slides, yes. Is that if that's your recommendation for footwear? Yes. That's my recommendation if you're going to be walking, but go try them on. I actually tried someone else's on and then I bought it. So definitely, if you're thinking about that, UFOS ones, I think there's a code from some website. I'll try to give it to Abuza so you can post it. You get like 10% off from a certain website, but they're the fancy, like the army green color. That might help because at least your slippers will stick out from everyone else's. So I'll send I'll send a link to Abu Zar to post on all the groups, which website it is and the code.
How is the group formed? Is there any bases? I don't really understand that.
No, I think it's just I already answered that live as well to someone else. Basically, the groups are according to your package code is what you've bought. The guys then will just get allocated to the packages. There's no method or anything. It's just that's how it is in this new system. You will get allocated a guide. That's the main thing. And if you contact your guide and they're not helpful, you can contact us, no problem. That is if you are in a package with MCDC that is not part of Al Hijaz Tours Travels codes. I think that's what they were worried about, because a lot of people in this round have bought Global 12, which is the global MCDC.
We might be handling some of them. We don't know yet. So
we don't know yet, but no need to panic. You know what I mean? Don't worry. We're not going to
panic about. But we'll be there as well. You'll see a seminar and things like that. And if you wish to tag along with us, we don't have an issue with that.
Exactly.
Islam, it's not. So Brother AZ has put a nice message up. Thank you. Islam, it's not a question, just an appreciation message. I've done my Hajj with you guys in 2024. So I still join these calls as and when I can revive some of the memories. I am very grateful for everything all brothers, guides, sheikhs, Brother Abu Zar, Brother Zahid did for us. A message for the people who are going to the Hajj. It won't be easy journey, but it will be the best journey of lifetime. Things will go wrong, but as Brother Zahid said, have patience. You will see tough times, but always remember millions of people are constantly crying to go through the tough time you are about to experience. I miss my Hajj and I miss everyone. May Allah accept everyone's Hajj. Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair for the message as well. So it's all worth it at the end. All that struggle, everything, every single second, just to be there, it is worth it.
There's a question here. If we are giving a dump and a kurban, is that 300 quid? Yes, but you'd only give a dump once you made a mistake. So
you don't need to. Precautionary, it's a good thing to do, but it's not something you need to do immediately.
Someone said, "Can I buy an umbrella with a fan?" Yes, you can. I've actually had this fan. Someone gifted it to me 2-3 years ago. It still works. I still use it now. You can get them like cheap from China. 3 years, I think I've had this fan now. Still going strong. It's whatever works for you.
Someone asking, can we organize Hadi there, or does it need to be done through Nusuk?
No,
we can organize that. It's better with us.
It's better to do
done according to the Sunnah, the way it's meant to be done.
Yeah.
With Nusuk, we're not sure how, because it's the first year with Nusuk. They didn't do this last year, so we don't know how they will be related or how they will communicate with the Hajis. We actually don't know. So the last thing you want to do is your qurbani is done before you've even stoned, because everyone's different. We had, for example, a brother last year who got to Mina, for example, fell unwell, stuck around. So he actually went a lot later to do his Jamrat than the rest of the group did. So then we done his Qurbani or Adahi at a different time. So we held on till that happened. So we don't know who's going to be in what scenario at that specific moment. I've given the Adahi or Qurbani. Where can we get good quality Umrah packs? So they may change flights direct with the date change from the region. I don't believe any of the dates will change. There might be a slight difference in the flight timings or so forth. So it'll be within because there will be some flights that have been changed from certain airlines to Saudi. But you'll be getting tickets, inshallah, very soon. So nothing to worry about as well. What's the last day to enter in Saudi Arabia? I think it's the 22nd of May will be the last flights, and only on Saudi airline, no other carrier.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so which Ufus are best? I don't know what an Ufu is.
Ufus are them slippers. They can't wear sliders. The sliders are different. And
these like basic flip-flops.
yeah.
Go through that on Monday properly, show like a visual.
I'll show you.
So all these are questions for fiqh, so Imam Bilal will cover all this, especially the footwear.
We're going to show the visual footwear. So you send me the link, I'll put up.
I'll send it now with the codes.
Always room allocation done for quad or triple. So if you're a family and you've purchased a quad room, then inshallah you'll be in that. If you're like, let's say, for example, brother, mom, sister, then mom and sister will be sharing with another 2 sisters. Brother will be then sharing with another 3 rooms. It's like similar to that. May Allah bless you all for all your hard work and efforts in the presentation webinar. Any recommendation on eSIM in Umrah 2024 purchase Go More World on iPhone App Store? Is this okay or any other? Again, my personal opinion, get the SIM cards when you're there, but ALO is apparently meant to be good. Please provide email address of flight organizations to query flights. So so if you purchased a group flight, then MCDC will be arranging that, as in the service provider. So you can email them directly. If you purchased via the custom flights, which was Al Musafir, so that's something you would have to email Nusuk or Al Musafir. You would have received an email, so you can reply back to that. Do you know when we'll get our airline tickets? Airline tickets, do not worry. They will be sent out to you. If it was purchased again with custom flights, get in touch with Al Musafir or Nusuk. If it was done as a group flight, then the service provider will do that. When can we book Qurbani and how? We secured our package yesterday. So yeah, we've shared Brother Anis's details in the chat. So if you contact Brother Anis, then that'll be done. 4 places and package are not taken. Can we be moved into a drop room? Yeah, so if the possibility is there, they won't just randomly move people. It will be like an upgrade. Again, regarding room upgrades, just email MCDC, and if it's possible, they'll do that. If it's not, because we don't know what the room arrangements are, how many rooms are left to sell. If there are any rooms left to sell, we have not much knowledge of that. Abuzar, are we more or less done?
Yeah,
inshallah, we will be doing another 2 logistics ones. Logistic webinars are extremely important. There was a lot that we didn't cover because of the time. I think we've been on this for how long now, Abuzar? 2 hours? So we didn't want to put everything in there in the one webinar. So we're going to have, inshallah, maybe within this week or maybe next weekend, we'll have another one and then one more before we depart. So please do attend. It's very important that even if it's with the commitments or with work, you can't attend the webinars, please at least watch the recordings, because a lot of your questions will be answered. Inshallah. Jazakallah for all you heard. I'm on package 5512. Is there any recommendation support for dietary requirement? My family has a gluten-free diet. Will there be food available at hotel and Mina camp?
No.
Gluten-free. What do we do there?
They won't. You're gonna have to take as much as from the UK that you can. There's no gluten free, and trust me, if you ask them in the hotels and the MENA camp, is this gluten free? The answer you're gonna get is yes. Don't worry, yes, but it's not. So don't think that it's like the UK. The standards are very, very low there, and there is no one that you're gonna be able to sue there if they give you the wrong, incorrect advice. Like over here, yes, you could go back and sue someone. Over there, they'll just turn around and say, yeah, bismillah, bismillah. So make sure.
Sorry, Asif, sorry. Abu Zar, there's a sister called Rubina Islam. She's just messaged. She's had her hand up for some time.
And
So if
Saj
you have
as
any
well.
hands up.
Yeah, Saj as well asked the question. I'm not sure if I'm muted, if anyone can hear me.
Do then. I will, Sister Rabina.
Oh, there you go. Sorry, sister.
We had so many written messages.
Thank you. Can I just a couple of questions? One of the brothers mentioned about the meningitis jab, something about 10 days. We had ours about a week ago. So does that mean that the certificate will be invalid?
No,
that's
10
fine.
days before you fly.
At least.
Minimum 10 days before departure, you need to have the ACWI done. So, for example, if
15th of May,
if you're flying on 11th of May,
yeah,
then technically you need to have it done at least by the 1st of May.
1st of May.
Okay, so we're traveling on the 17th of May.
You're fine.
You're fine.
We're fine, yeah, because we've had it a week ago now.
That's fine. You have to have it by the 7th. So if you're flying out on the 17th, then the certificate should show that you've had the jab by this before the 7th of May, 10 days before you're due to fly out.
Okay, that's perfect. My next question, you mentioned about if the Nusuk app isn't working and it's jammed and we can't book ourselves to go to the Rhoda,
yes.
How do we know it's jammed? Because at the moment, all we're seeing is that there is no option to book at the moment because it's full.
Other people are having issues logging in. You actually logged in, so you can see that next stage. This is for people that are having issues using their email address to log in because they used it previously. For them, it's showing an error code, so they can't even get to the stage you're at. You are exactly where you need to be. You are, when you get there, 20 minutes before, if there are any spaces using your geolocation, the slots will pop up for you to book Rhoda there and then.
Inshallah. Thank you very much. That's all. Thank you so much.
Is there anyone else? Saj. Abu Zar.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Assalam.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Excellent. Right, I've just got a question. As you know, a lot of people have booked through customized flights, and I've done the same. I'm just trying to book now at the moment. I just wanted some guidance. There's a lot of things that we have to consider. Like obviously different countries, like obviously Doha and obviously the other countries basically what we need to avoid, and also certain airlines like Qatar or stuff like that. So is there any guidance that you can provide in regards to the customized flights, how to book?
Have you already booked a package, or are you still looking to book a package?
Yeah, I've got the package. I'm just trying to book the. I've got the flight from Cairo to Jeddah.
Oh, so you booked a dummy flight. That's fine. Just speak to Abu Zar in the morning when he's in the office, and then he'll find you a flight.
So, Brother Saj, what package are you on?
Barak Grant.
All right. So basically, contact Abu Zar, and then tomorrow we'll tell you what our group flights match with that. So just try to book the group flight.
Right.
So that way you'll travel out with someone.
First thing in the morning, just message me. You booked the Cairo flight and you're on Barak Grant, and I'll let you know the details.
Yeah, because I can find a flight from London, it's the Saudi Airlines, but the thing is, it goes to Manan, which is obviously is that near Iraq somewhere? I don't know. Anyway, I just want trying to avoid those areas basically.
Dammam.
Sorry. Yeah.
Dammam side.
It's not that far. But so I speak to Abu Zar in the morning anyway, inshallah. He'll help and assist you with the flight.
That's fine. Excellent. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. No problem. That's it. Anyone else? Finish?
Abu Zar, I think we're done.
Yeah.
Or do we have any questions? If anybody's raising the hand still, just just give them an opportunity.
I think everyone's gone to sleep now.
We're just
Getting
busy.
arrested. Oh no,
Yeah,
Yes.
we still got quite a few numbers still with us.
yeah, don't worry. They might be like American time,
Steve?
US time. Steve.
So, like, brothers, yeah, I had a question. How many sets of clothes should be brought
How much
for
for
like
How long is
clothes?
your
for the
package
Hajj?
for? What package are you on?
I haven't secured one yet.
You have it. Right.
No.
So clothes, you know, few pairs. You can obviously buy stuff out from there as well. That's
For
entirely
the
up to you.
the ihram clothes.
Okay, so you can bring one set with you, or maybe two. You can purchase from there as well. One's
Okay.
good,
You think?
two's
Okay.
safe,
Yeah.
and you can purchase both in Makkah and Madina as well.
Thank you.
No problem.
Inshallah, brother Steve next round will hopefully secure a package. What do you think anyway, Asif? Do you think there will be another round?
Until Ministry of Hajj don't make an official announcement, that's what we've always said every year. Until they don't say, right, everything's closed, like they did on the 26th of March last year, was that they announced it, right, it's closed, that was it, it's done. And we're on coming up to 26th of April, 1 month further in, and
Dragged on this year.
yeah, we've not heard anything. Because once they make the official announcement, then guaranteed no more stages. But until then, we have hope. It's not over till it's over, inshallah.
Yeah. Any other questions, Abuzar?
That's all the questions.
So the Nusuk ID, there's a question. This will be given to you either in Makkah hotel or Medina hotel. The Nusuk ID for Hajj.
This year they've actually said that it's either the physical ID. You cannot enter Makkah without the physical ID or the digital one. Last year it was just physical. They just wanted physical, but now I think as long as you have it on your phone, and if you lost the other one, because them clips are very flimsy. So many people, when you're just doing wuzu, the nusuk card or in tawaf, it just used to fall off, and they used to go into panic. There's no need to panic anymore because you have it on your phone, and like we said, as long as you got your visa and your passport up with you, then you've got nothing to worry about. At the end, if they don't even believe that, and even if you've lost that, they will do a fingerprint check on you, and then it'll come up with your picture and your visa and everything. So no need to panic if you do lose this Nusuk ID card now.
Are we done with any live questions? Any hands raised still? So we'll just quickly answer.
But I think they're from before, so they don't. Isn't like they. But it's more or less finished now.
The approx cost of ihram in Saudi, I think it's about 50, 60 riyals, so about 10, 12 pounds.
35, no, it's 35
Quality, you
riyals.
get
Quality, you can get them cheaper as well.
Yeah, between 20, about £5 to about, you could get them for 15, 20 quid. But nothing more than that. But you rather get them from here, wash them here. If you buy them there, it's just straight out the packet and you have to wear it. You ain't gonna get time to wash it. So a lot of people like to buy the ihram from here, have it washed here, and then try it on here. Because once an adult bought a child's ihram, didn't realize until he got there at the airport.
Right.
What you gonna do then? Do you know what I mean? You just bought it out of the packet and didn't try it. So it's very, very important. You rather buy one from here and buy a spare from there. Don't buy both from here. Buy one and buy a spare there. That's it. But at least try the one, because you don't want to make that thing yet. And it was actually in the packet of an adult ihram. So he thought, yes, he purchased an adult ihram, charged for an adult ihram, but didn't open it up because like someone must have like tried it on, put it back in the wrong bag. Very, very important. Wash it and try it. And I don't mean the night before. Do it now. Go buy them now. Try it on. Practice putting it on, taking it off. Get
Very
comfortable.
important.
Yeah, very important.
Could you please talk about the Nusuk Roda issue? Which email again? I missed a part of at the start. Sorry, it's happening with me right now.
The Nusuk Roda, if you can't log into the app or they can't get the booking, either way, any issue, just direct message me and I'll help you with that. Just put my number up and I'll just deal with them if they can't log in.
Raj has another question. Maybe he may have raised his hand.
Yes, Raj.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. When you I've got a customized package, will the transport be included in there? Because obviously the timings might be different. Because obviously I'm not on a group flight. So
The service provider, MCDC, will arrange the transport for you when you land.
Yeah.
Okay, but what if I come at different time? Just if, for example, if I come early or later?
Be there 24 hours.
They'll have
Oh, right.
representatives there.
Right, okay, perfect.
Sorry, I missed the answer to my question. We land in Jeddah at 03:55 custom flight, and trains are part of our package. I don't believe any package has a train from the airport. Will we actually be able to get a train to Medina? You can purchase your own train from Jeddah if you're landing on the hours when the trains run, because I think it's you're going to have to check that what time they start and then from.
Plus, I would recommend purchasing a train ticket from now because you don't know how long it's going to take you to get out of the airport. So a lot of people have bought the train ticket. If you buy the cheaper one, which is the standard one, and then you miss it, you don't get a refund. Only if you book a business class ticket can you change it once, I think, or for free. So bear that in mind, that you don't want to buy a ticket thinking, but then get held up in immigration or anything like that, or the flight was delayed coming in, then you're gonna have to buy another ticket anyway. These train tickets, if you're looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, they're usually available anyway. Just keep an eye on it regularly. But I would recommend buying it from here. I'd rather you wait until you get there, depending on what time you land. Because like you say, flight delays, we don't know, and you're gonna lose your money. So for now, it's a bus. And once the bus is full, if you're going from Jeddah to Medina, there's no checkpoint. So it's pretty all right. Smooth sailing. There's no stops.
Door to door as well. So.
Yeah, drop you off to your hotel. If you take a train, then you're going to get to the train station. From the train station, you have to get a taxi and then go to the hotel. All right, it's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I think that. From Jeddah to, I think it's about 2 hours or 1 hour, 45 minutes or something like that. But only book it once you've landed, because if you book it beforehand, you will lose that train ticket and then having to book another one. Because you cannot control the time that you're going to land according to the flight. Because if there's any delays, you lost your ticket.
Bye, Jazakallah khair. Thank you. Abu Zar, thank you, Jazakallah. And thank you for everyone for joining. Inshallah, we're going to have plenty more webinars. Please do join. Can you please, okay, we've got some brothers just messaging. Can you please let me ask a question live or answer on here? Bashir Khan, raise your hand. Last one, and then inshallah we'll...
Hello.
Welcome.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask about the flight situation. Can you change your flight from, suppose we have an Etihad flight, it's two people on the package, GLB5. Can you change that to Saudi Airline?
Custom flight or group flight?
A custom flight.
You're going to have to email Nusuk and Al Musafir regarding that.
Okay, and another thing I want to know is because I'm asking this on behalf of my father. It's him and my mom. They're both going, inshallah. So, my mom's visa has been approved and they've sent her. But my father's, they said they're waiting for the passport to go to the embassy or something. So
ignore that.
Don't worry about it. A few days and it'll come through.
It'll come anyway. Don't worry.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Sorry. But we'll message you directly. So Brother Yunus has an important question. He'll message or call one of us. Actually, Brother Yunus is here. Yeah, even better.
Assalamu
alaikum.
So I've asked a question about the wheelchair because I'm actually a wheelchair user, and I use an electric wheelchair. So the question also the arrangement, I suppose, because I've been on holiday a million times and I always arrange. I've done my flights. I've already added on all of the arrangements for that, but I don't know how it's going to work with the Saudi transport. Whether there is, do I have to let MCDC know? Will they make arrangements for? I mean, there might be other wheelchair users. Do they make arrangements for wheelchairs for adapted transfers, or is there a facility in the bus? What happens? How is it managed?
You know, when you update your application form on Nusuk, on the profile, did you fill in all your thing in it, wheelchair user and disability and stuff like that on your Nusuk profile when you did your verification process?
I'm sure I did. I just can't remember. I can't recall back.
So then Ministry of Hajj and all that should have that information. And yes, MCDC will tell you, yes, we have it. They do have it. They will have adaptive buses. But think about 1.6 million people and the chaos. So you waiting for an adaptive bus that might be stuck in a traffic 4 hours away. Sometimes what's happened, I travel with a 70-year-old guy that brings his own wheelchair as well. And what we do is the brothers around, whenever you're there, will try to help and assist in getting that wheelchair on or getting you off and putting the electric wheelchair in the bus underneath and making sure that they lift you off and get your wheelchair out. Not MCDC service, not a guide service, just the goodness of the people around you at the time to help in a situation. And that's what
Question
we're
there,
going to have to
Asif.
do.
Just a quick question touching on that. So you got the mobility one, right?
Yeah,
The one with the
electric.
battery pack, the electric one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is that something is there anybody traveling with you then?
Wife. And so this is another issue is I know somebody already asked the questions about room upgrades and so on, and I'm going to get the details for MCDC and email them and see if
the
I
email
can.
it would have come to you from before.
I've got the email from the package, but I think the room was a quad room that's come through. But obviously, I want to upgrade the room to a double if possible. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult because one, I'm going to have a lot of. I know we're traveling as light as possible, but the medication and stuff that I carry is quite bulky. So I'm going to have a lot to carry, and usually my wife helps me. So that's why.
What package did you book?
G?
Which package did you end up booking?
Al-Qasafa one.
Okay.
Because it was the closest to the Haram.
Yeah, it's walking distance. It's close.
So that I thought it'd be easier, so it'd be less of a journey.
Yeah, that's not the issue. The issue is obviously during the days of Hajj, and so that's okay. Inshallah, it'll be fine.
Inshallah.
Jazakallah.
As long as you guys know, then it's fine. Alhamdulillah.
Getting them just also touching on it, yeah. The mobility scooters. Normally, like when I've had people in the past, because we used to have that, the high rack type of thing.
Yeah.
Used to put them on there. You don't kind of have them now, innit, to get them onto a coach.
Last year I had a passenger. I had a passenger that had that electric wheelchair. This year I think there's about 2 or 3 that I know of that are bringing their own wheelchair, just like they did last year, and he managed fine. Just the people around you just will help and assist, as much as they can. That even if it's not an adaptive bus, people around.
Allah will be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine because the goodness of the people, around you, they will help and assist. Everyone will want to get their hand in your share of your Hajj by doing the khidmah. So, I wouldn't worry too much about it, inshallah. Anyway.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
And then if you do struggle, you can just
Hopefully,
contact us.
inshallah, we'll get through that as well.
Yeah, exactly. The main thing is you've got a package. These are minor little things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has done the majority of it for you. Inshallah, once you get there, most of these issues will be resolved by themselves, inshallah.
And Jazakumullah for that.
Yeah.
That's the way I think we're gonna call it.
You said that half an hour ago.
Inshallah. Anyway, take care. Allah Hafiz and Assalamu alaikum to everyone.
Thanks. Thank you for joining. So much, thank you.
Okay, thanks.